Live, local, late breaking. This is News 18 at 6.
Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Stacy Schooler, and thanks for joining us. Well, possible severe weather is headed our way tonight. So glad to have meteorologist Sarah McKenna with us. She's tracking those conditions and joins us now for a first look at that forecast. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Stacy. We've been talking all evening. We've got a ton to talk about, so I've got to dive right in here.
And now, 10 minutes of nonstop news on News Channel 10.
Well, we start with our continuing coverage of the severe windy weather event causing chaos across the area, starting with a number of pileups due to the winds and low visibility. One person has died after a pileup on Highway 60 west of Bovina.
The crash happened near Bovina Feeders and involved 3 semis and 4 other vehicles. Details of other injuries have not been released. There was also 2 other deadly crashes in our area due to the weather in Palmer and Gray counties.
Good Friday evening, everyone. It has been a very hectic day here in the High Plains. This is just one of several semis that toppled over. You can see there was one in the background there, that one, and then obviously one that had already fallen over before then as well. This was another one of those tractor trailers that blew over on East Loop 335. A lot of those from Blake Brown this morning into the early afternoon hours. Some of our winds were sustained as high as 60 miles an hour down in the direction of Hereford. We were mostly sustained around 50 here in Amarillo.
Always watching, always tracking. WTVA 9 News begins with the Severe Weather Authority.
At 6 o'clock, you're getting a live look outside Highway 25 north in Oktibbeha County. It's fairly calm right now, a little windy, but otherwise it is the calm before the storm. Severe weather headed our way now, and tonight you need to be ready. We've got full team coverage across our viewing area. Our Gay Maynor is monitoring conditions in Lee County. Our Veronica Mejia is in Clay County. But first, let's go to our chief meteorologist, Matt Lopon, who is watching and tracking. He's got the latest.
One of the big factors we're going to have to watch for the next 24 hours is just fatigue from a meteorologist standpoint, from your standpoint as well, because we're going to have multiple tornado watches, and many of us will have multiple rounds where we deal with tornado warnings.
Telling your story, WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks so much for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Kamari Hamer. Well, we've been watching the weather most of the week, and unfortunately for you all, the forecast is not looking any better. For the latest on what's shaping up to be a stormy weekend, we turn things over to our meteorologist, Ashley Bryant. Ashley.
Hey, thanks, Kamari. It's been a relatively pleasant end to our week. Today was really great outside. We had a nice split between clouds and sun. Temperatures worked their way into the low 80s for some of us. We had that nice breeze. It was a warm breeze as well. And
covering news where you live. This is 5 News at 10.
Strong winds, high fire threats, storms sweeping across our part of the state tonight. The wind knocking down trees in Charleston, kicking up dust all across parts of Sebastian County and northwest Arkansas. It's also fueling a fire in Hickory Creek near Beaver Lake. Crews began working on that fire just before 6 o'clock tonight. We'll have much more on the multi-agency response from Lauren Spencer coming up in just a bit. Take a look at all this hail in Clarksville. The storms move through Johnson County tonight. We've got tons of photos out of Johnson County of the storm moving through. By the way, you can always send us your photos by texting them to the number there at the bottom of your screen, 785-5000. Storm actually triggered a tornado warning for the very eastern part of the county, but quickly moved off to the east. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 10. I'm Darren Bobb. It's been a very busy day, Scott. And I'm telling you, as much as it is kind of calming down here,
right.
Our friends to the east of us, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. Really concerned with what we're seeing in central parts of the state. More on that in a moment.
Hey, good evening, Tennessee Valley. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Just wanted to talk to you about what we're currently seeing across North Alabama, Southern and Middle Tennessee, and what we expect to see over the next couple of hours. For the time being, we are nice and quiet across the Tennessee Valley. Now, we did have a couple of light rain showers over the portions of northwest Alabama through the course of the afternoon, but that activity wasn't severe, didn't come with any thunderstorms or anything like that. It was just a couple of quick rain showers.
Coverage you can count on. This is Way 31 News at 10.
Well, tomorrow is a 31 alert day for the chance of tornadoes, strong wind, hail, and severe thunderstorms. Thank you for joining us for Way 31 News at 10. I'm Jim Abbott filling in for Nicole Williams. We are bringing you weather team coverage you can count on, as we've got all hands on deck here to make sure you've got the information you need to ride out this storm. We will check in with Way 31's Georgia Clark in a moment. But first, let's go straight to Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle for a latest look at the timing on this storm. Jeff?
Jim, still focused on tomorrow afternoon, although a round of some storms coming in later tonight into tomorrow morning may bring us severe weather.
WVTM 13 News begins with live, local, late-breaking weather.
Right now, the entire state of Alabama is under a state of emergency with a serious storm threat rapidly heading our way with a rare high risk of a tornado outbreak.
Our team of meteorologists are keeping a close eye on the first system moving into the state, and we're bringing in Chief Meteorologist Jason Simpson for the very latest.
Well, we do have some adjustments from when we last talked just before 7 o'clock. And number one, right now there are multiple confirmed tornadoes in Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, and those are headed toward Tennessee and northern Mississippi. All of this yellow, those are tornado watches. The tornado watch that's in effect now in North Mississippi is described as a PDS, a particularly dangerous situation for Tupelo, for Amory, and points westward, and it's because of the storms that are already getting started over close to the Mississippi River.
A weather impact alert tonight. Thanks for joining us for the News at 10. I'm Richard Ransom alongside meteorologist Kit Thomas, who's watching the threat of a severe weather outbreak in the Mid-South. Kit, how's it looking at this point?
It's the forbidden Q word in weather is quiet right now.
Okay.
We are starting to see things unfold a little bit towards our south and northern Mississippi.
Right.
We're under a PDS tornado watch tonight. I'll explain what that is as tornadoes ripping through St. Louis, Missouri, and Arkansas right now. We'll have the latest locally coming up.
Also, what you need to know to stay safe during severe weather. One local performing arts center honors two local legends in a special way.
Plus, Freed Hardman tests off round one of the NAIA tournament.
Now, from West Tennessee's News Channel, this is 7 Eyewitness News at 10.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Brad Douglas. Terry Junk says the evening off. We're just a few days away now from the official beginning of spring. And with spring comes warm and windy weather and oftentimes severe weather. Chief Meteorologist Joel Barnes is keeping a close eye on what could be coming our way overnight. And Joel, already it looks like it's going to be a pretty busy night.
Yeah, unfortunately for the folks in St. Louis, they've got 2 tornadoes on the ground. We've had 4 confirmed tornadoes just about 30 minutes ago, but into Arkansas and Missouri, none here yet, but these storms are still on the way. This is what it looks like behind me. You notice this line of severe weather.
WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking weather. You're taking a live look at Mayfield Elementary hallways, where locals are utilizing a designated shelter as we track severe storms moving into the Local 6 area. The entire region under a weather authority alert into the overnight hours. We are expecting heavy rain, strong wind, the possibility of tornadoes. Let's get right to meteorologist Mark Daniels, who's tracking this incoming system for us. Mark, any warnings out there yet?
No warnings yet, but the watch, which is in effect now, does cover the entire viewing area. And
live from the Tri-States news and weather leader, this is 14 News.
We're officially in first alert mode because of high winds, possible tornadoes, and large hail set to arrive in the Tri-State in just a few short hours. Our first alert weather team is tracking out the latest. Good evening, everyone. I'm Isaac Calvert in for Robinson Miles. Alongside me is Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons. So, Jeff, it's essentially the final countdown. These storms are about to arrive just about any minute now. What are the latest models showing us right now?
The latest thing is, and we're going to show you the radar here in a moment, but it's real important to say that this is a particularly dangerous situation. The Storm Prediction Center, the Weather Service, they don't throw that around very often, so we really need to take this seriously. Here's a look at the new tornado watch, which was issued around 7:30 this evening. It covers all of our counties for the most part.
From your local weather authority, this is a severe weather update.
Hey everybody, we're doing another update for you here. We have a new tornado warning. Kind of expected this one. It's coming from the storm that was down here in Jasper County. We're right there. We initially had the tornado warning for Jasper County, but the storm is moving quickly northeast, so now we have a new warning. This includes portions of Crawford County and also the southern portion of...
This is a Fox 13 severe weather update.
I'm meteorologist Wendy Nations at Fox 13 in the Severe Weather Center. And if you heard the urgency of my voice earlier during all the weather tosses in the weathercast, you know that I have been concerned about what we've been watching, what we've been tracking. So take a look at our Doppler radar right now. And I want to zoom in on now another tornado warning that was just issued.
From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News Saturday Daybreak.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Saturday Daybreak. I'm Ashley Lenningham. Here's what's happening in your news this morning. We are surveying the damage storms caused last night in Cave City, plus a message from the city's mayor next. Plus, the FAA is coming up with new helicopter restrictions to help prevent mid-air disasters. And the measles outbreak continues to spread in the U.S., and health departments are urging people to get vaccinated, but parents are getting conflicting information. We'll clear up some of the confusion next. But before we get to your news headlines, meteorologist Austin Burks is here with the weekend forecast, and it was a long night for everyone in Arkansas.
It was. Many people in northeast Arkansas, even in east Arkansas, waking up to images like we saw there in Cave City. Multiple tornado reports last night.
Breaking news on ABC 17 News on KMIZ.
Oh, it's here. It's here. Look at all that debris. Oh my God. We are in a tornado.
New video this morning shows a tornado hitting Rolla on Friday. Tad Peters posted that video on Facebook after his car was in the middle of the tornado at a quick trip off I-44. We'll have more on the devastation Rolla is facing following severe weather in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to send things over to ABC 17 Storm Check meteorologist Nate Splater. Nate, what a night we had here in mid-Missouri.
Yeah, we're continuing to follow those storms as those rolled through last night. This is a look at the past radar from this yesterday evening. This is not live here, of course. This is that line of storms that was rolling through our first severe warnings by about 4 to 5 o'clock.
Severe storms strike the bi-state.
It seemed like the whole roof was going to come off the house.
A weather impact whipped up by Mother Nature.
The winds are so strong that they're causing the electrical wires to arc,
sparking fires on both sides of the river.
I saw a flame, but I thought that's a lot of smoke. Then the wind blew, and then a whole bunch of fire just went.
From downpours to damaging hail, both paving the way for tornadoes.
We got call that there was multiple tornadoes that struck this intersection area,
destroying property, businesses, and homes.
This is unreal. Like I can't even believe this bad.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Good Saturday morning, and thank you for being with us. We have a great deal of storm coverage to get to this morning. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Sydney Stallworth. This morning, Missouri is in a state of emergency after severe weather ripped through our area. As soon as the sun does come up, communities will get a much better look at the damage that was done and the work that's ahead, Rennie.
Now, this morning we have team coverage. Mercedes McKay is live in North County, one of the hardest hit areas. And right now, thousands of people cannot turn on their lights.
This is a Breaking Now alert from Heartland News.
Storms strike the heartland. Tornadoes, lightning, heavy rain and wind across Illinois, Kentucky, and Missouri. This morning, people waking up to power outages, downed trees, damaged homes, and flooding. Good morning, everyone. We'll bring you live coverage from Poplar Bluff. We're learning about one casualty, but first, we're going to toss things over to Brian Allworth with the very latest in your first alert.
Yeah, it's been a long night for, I suspect, a lot of folks, if nothing else.
just all the thunder and lightning and wind overnight. And of course, some areas got hit hard by at least a half a dozen tornadoes confirmed so far. But the good news is, at least for now, things have quieted down.
Tracking thunderstorms this morning, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. One that now extends into eastern portions of Huntsville, includes eastern Madison and Marshall County, and then down into portions of Morgan County. Also another one in the Albertville area, severe thunderstorm warning, mainly right now for just winds and large hail. Everything is tracking southwest to northeast. If you're not in a severe thunderstorm warning, you still have some heavy rain, you still have some rumbles of thunder, but so far we have not had any tornadoes here this morning, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have another round of storms to track this afternoon and evening, and I'll have more coming up in your full forecast.
And a 48 first alert weather day for the potential of severe storms. What local emergency workers want you to know before severe weather hits.
And storm shelters across the area starting to open if you need a safe place to go during the severe weather. We share where you can find your nearest community shelter coming up on 48 News Weekend Mornings.
You're watching WAFF 48 News. Today is a First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Rooter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Welcome in on your Saturday morning, 48 First Alert Weather Day. Meteorologist Jeff Denoyer, Eric Burke, been here all night long and into the morning, keeping us aware and prepared.
Yeah, they're looking at all sorts of data right now. Jeff, you're kind of projecting a much bigger event later in the day.
Yeah, and we've been tracking storms since midnight, and we always knew the first round was going to pack a punch with heavy rain and gusty winds.
Live on your side. Good Day Alabama starts with First Alert Weather.
Hey, good Saturday morning, everyone. I'm Russell Jones.
And I'm Mike Deverly. Great to have you in. If you're just waking up now with our team, there's that heightened risk now for severe weather today, and it is still in place.
Yeah, that's why we got a full crew up here. We got Megan Thomas, Tania Michelle, all standing by in our First Alert Weather Center. And Megan, you were telling us earlier, no more warnings. Are we good for now? Where are we at?
We are good for now.
Straight ahead on News Channel 5 this morning, we're under a Storm 5 alert as the entire viewing area is under the threat of severe weather today. Our weather team is tracking it for you now. And these storms come in the middle of a big weekend for sports here in Nashville. Find out how the weather is affecting the festivities surrounding the SEC basketball tournament. Plus, check out this video of a bonfire spreading to a hot tub. We have an important reminder for you from the fire department because of this. Your news starts now.
This is a Storm 5 alert.
And we are under a Storm 5 alert today, and our weather team is tracking it all. Good morning to you. It is 5 a.m. on this Saturday morning. Glad you are with us. Also with us this morning, we are joined not only by meteorologist Henry Rothenberg, but also Leland Statham. Good morning, guys.
Yep. Yeah, good morning. Bringing him back from vacation a little early on this one, but yeah, good morning. Yeah. Windy drive in this morning.
Windy drive in with that wind advisory that's going to be in effect now through 7 o'clock. Had a few storms out there, but no tornado warnings within our area.
Good morning, and thanks so much for joining us for your morning wake up with WAND News. I'm Maya Brandenburg. Central Illinois is waking up to calmer skies after severe weather moved through the area overnight. This is a look at some of that action last night, and you can see lightning and even hail hitting parts of the area. We have team coverage for you this morning. Our Adriana Hernandez Santana is in Neoga, and Ulysses Garcia is in the Weather Center. Let's start with Ulysses. What are we working up to today?
Well, Maya, we're waking up to, some of the areas across central Illinois are going to be picking up some of the pieces from the storms that we had last night. You can see here, this is over the last 12 hours, just a line of storms that made its way across central Illinois.
Good morning, I'm Reed Yaden from the WHS 11 Storm Team. What we're looking at here is a line of storms that we have been tracking since last evening. Ben Pine started tracking it. Has moved into the viewing area now. About an hour and 15-20 minutes ago, we had several tornado warnings through Indiana, through part of the viewing area. At this minute, there are no warnings, severe thunderstorm or tornadoes in any part of the WHS 11 viewing area. Now,
Rallying against proposed cuts to federal agencies tonight, the strong message some in our area have when it comes to the VA. Then picking up the pieces after wildfires in Oklahoma destroyed homes and scorched many acres. And we're closely monitoring the aftermath of deadly weather in Arkansas and around the nation this weekend.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 4829 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Chip Scarborough. A much calmer day across our area today after an active stretch of weather that even turned deadly overnight in northeast Arkansas, where at least 3 people are dead tonight.
Several tornadoes popped up and tore through many towns. At least one EF3 tornado leaving devastation behind in Cave City.
I've never felt so much pressure, so much noise, so much all at once.
Seeing what happened to these people in their house and their kids, their dogs, their livelihood.
Despite the devastating losses, neighbors helping neighbors, friends helping strangers in the face of tragedy.
They're alive and breathing, so that's the main part. You can replace the house, but you can't replace the person.
K8 News starts now with severe weather.
While speaking in Cave City, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders declared a state of emergency. She spoke on the next steps to help the communities impacted by the storms.
One of the things that will make you so proud as a governor is to see neighbors helping neighbors, and never is that more true than right here in this community today. We've got about 40 state police on the ground in the county, about 50 National Guard. Our goal is to help and aid the local folks on the ground.
Breaking weather right now. This is Local 6 at 6.
Lasting impacts tonight from the powerful and deadly storm system that tore through the Midwest and South. Those storms spawning several tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds. You are looking at Butler County, Missouri, one of the hardest hit areas in our region. Southern Illinois also taking a hard hit. This video showing the devastating path of a likely tornado that struck Vienna and parts of West Kentucky. Again, facing power outages tonight. Crews working hard to restore power and clean up downed trees. The National Weather Service of Paducah has now preliminarily confirmed that an EF3 tornado hit Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And we have team coverage tonight tracking the impacts of these storms. Local 6's Jasmine Youngblood live for us in Paducah, looking into power outages and cleanup efforts in Cali Stone in Johnson County, Illinois, where there's been damage to homes. But first, we start tonight with meteorologist Nolan Kane. Okay, Nolan, so it seems that tonight's weather is a lot more quiet than this.
Live, First Alert 4 starts now.
Storm damage spanning the St. Louis region, tornadoes and severe storms sweeping through, hitting homes and businesses. Now the rebuilding and the recovery begins. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Lauren Traeger. For some, though, the impact of those storms will be forever. At least 12 people in Missouri lost their lives to those storms, including 2 here in the St. Louis area. First Alert 4 crews have been out all day surveying the damage, and you can see everywhere from Rolla to Villa Ridge to Florissant and Arnold, all across the metro. And we're beginning our team coverage tonight in Arnold, where Kimberly Donahue is in Jefferson County. That's where fear has turned to frustration.
We heard a boom, we heard noise, and after the sirens went off.
Survivors telling their stories after a night of devastation.
Is just heartbreaking. It almost makes you want to cry.
Shock and disbelief as communities are destroyed.
And we had put our kids in our basement and they were sleeping downstairs, and we went to take shelter.
All this and more coming up.
Live, local, now. This is K8 News.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Alejandra Hernandez. Several tornadoes ripped through Region 8 on Saturday, and today those communities start the long road to recovery. According to the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management, 3 people died and 32 were injured in last night's storms. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders declared a state of emergency in response to the extensive damage and power outages.
Thanks for joining us tonight for WDRB News at 11 o'clock. I'm Joel Skipper. Storms through much of Kentuckiana last night. The wind was all over the place. Tornado sirens. We saw a lot of hail. We want to check out meteorologist right now, Matthew Wine, with the very latest. And as I mentioned, the hail was an issue.
Yeah.
But the wind as well. I mean, there was damage in certain parts of our area.
Yeah, very few places saw the hail, very few saw the damaging winds. We knew that not everybody was going to get severe weather out of this, but those that got it pretty bad, in all honesty. There were some spots with the wind, especially, that saw mainly downed trees, but also some roof damage out there. This sent in from Robert Henderson up in Orleans, Indiana, a fallen tree there that
when warm and cold air clash, it can be a recipe for spring storms, which could mean flooding rains, damaging winds, hail, or even tornadoes. But your safety matters to us, so you'll know when severe weather is approaching with your local pinpoint forecast, anytime, on any screen. No matter the turn our weather takes or where you safely ride out the storm, the Our Quad Cities News Weather Team will stay with you through it all. Severe weather coverage is brought to you by Veterans Choice Contracting.
Thank you.